Welcome to EPC Pathshala. I am Professor Rani Sadasivamurthy from the Department of Sahitya, Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapita, Tirupati. The subject being dealt with is Indian culture. The paper is on Vedic, epic and Puranic culture of India, and the module deals with the caste system in Puranas. When we think of the caste system, the present day caste system and the Puranic caste system have slight differences. Caste has become a barrier in the modern world, whereas in ancient times, to expect expertise from a person by dividing the society into castes, the caste system was introduced in those days. And in the present module, we will be learning about the accounts of caste system in various Puranas, origin of caste system and the social importance of caste system, duties assigned to Brahmins, duties assigned to Kshatriyas, duties assigned to Vaishyas, duties assigned to Shudras, and common duties of all the castes, and many more aspects related to this caste system will be learned by us in this module. Coming to the accounts about the caste system in various Puranas, almost in all the 18 Puranas we have references to caste system, particularly Agni Purana, Kurma Purana, Garuda Purana, Devi Purana, that is Devi Bhagavata, and then Narada Purana, Padma Purana, Brahma Purana, Brahmavaivarta Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Markandeya Purana, Vayu Purana, Vishnu Purana and Skanda Purana. These are all the Puranas which deal with the aspects of caste system and their dharmas, duties also. And coming to the origin of caste system, in the Puranas, particularly in the Vishnu Purana, Narada Purana and the Bhagavata Purana, that is Krishna Bhagavata, there are certain differences in the Srishti Kanda. In the beginning of the Srishti, there was Virat Purusha, the universal form of Vishnu, as a single God, as a single being. And that single Virat Purusha, relating the episode of Virat Purusha with the Purusha Sukta in the Rigveda, there it was mentioned that from the face of Virat Purusha, Brahmins emerged. From the shoulders of Virat Purusha, Kshatriyas emerged. From the thighs of Virat Purusha, Vaisyas emerged. And from the feet of Virat Purusha, Sudras emerged. What does this mean? The meaning also was explained. Brahmins were the intellectuals meant for advising the king in organization. That's why they were known to have been born out from the face of the Virat Purusha, who is the representation of the entire society. And then shoulders are the symbol of valor and strength, and Kshatriyas are meant for protecting the society. So, the royal races are said to have been born from the shoulders of the Virat Purusha, and the merchanthood or the business is the source of the entire society. If we want the society to be seen with all richness, it should have a good strength of business. For that sake, merchants are said to be the base, or that is the thighs of that Virat Purusha. And Sudras were born from the feet. If feet are not there, there cannot be any movement to the society. If the movement is expected from the society, we need good strength of feet. That good strength of feet is resting in the Shudras of Puranic age. That's why Shudras are said to have been born from the feet of Virat Purusha. And again, there are some mixed castes. Those mixed castes were said to be having of two types, Pratilomajas and Anulomajas. In the Pratilomaja, if a woman of higher caste is married to the man of lower caste, the people born from such combination is known as Pratilomaja. And if the man belongs to higher caste and the woman belongs to lower caste, such combination produces Anulomaja people. In this manner, Pratilomajas and Anulomajas are said as the subcastes. So this was the origin of casteism in Puranas. And coming to the social importance, if entire society can be considered or can be compared to an organization of modern system, in a modern system, there can be a CEO, and then he being assisted by some managerial people who advise him time to time, and then to process the business activity of the organization, there are some people appointed, and finally, to help the entire system, there are some people appointed in the class 4 status to support the organization. So the intellectual part of this CEO is said to be the Kshatriya or the ruler of the organization, and the advisors or the managerial staff are said to be the Brahminic people because their intellect is used there. And then who spread the business of that organization can be called merchants or the Vaishyas, and then the supporting staff who help the system, they are considered to be the Shudras. In this manner, the caste system of ancient times was purely on the work based. The entire needs of the society were distributed among all these 4 types of castes, and the people of these castes were expected for the growth of this prosperity of the society. In this manner, the origin and the social importance of caste system was seen in the ancient Puranic texts. Here we have 4 major castes in the Puranas: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas and Sudras. And when the duties of Brahmins are concerned, actually who is called a Brahmin and what are his duties and what are his qualities, all these aspects were very clearly explained in the Bhagavata and other Puranas. For instance, Samskaraha yad avichinnaha sadvijo ajaha jagadayam idyadhyayana danani vihitani dvijanmama. The duties assigned to Brahmins and the qualities of Brahmin are explained like this: Samskaraha yadavichinnaha sadvijo ajo jagadayam idyadhyayana danani vihitani dvijanmanam janma karmavadatanam kriyaschashrama choditaha viprasya adhyayanadini ityadikam, etc. This is the main activity of a Vipra. Now let us think of Samskaraha yad avichinnaha. Avichinna samskaraha. From the birth to the death, certain samskaras for the improvement of the personality of the human being are prescribed for Brahmins, for Kshatriyas, for Vaishyas and even for Sudras. And when avichinna samskaraha, if the samskaras breaklessly are offered to the person, that such a person with breakless samskaras, and then who is Dvija, because of the Upanayana Samskara, he is said as twice born. And such Dvija being, if he performs three main duties, Ijya, Adhyayanam, Danam. Ijya means performing the sacrifices, yajnas, and then Adhyayanam, that is study of the Vedas and other Shastras, and then the third one is Danam, offering to others. These are three major duties, and also three equally important duties. They are Yajanam, means he performs yaga and he makes the kings and others to perform yagas. That is Yajanam. Adhyapanam, he teaches the entire society to live well, to live comfortably, to live safely. That is Adhyapanam. And Adanam, he receives from others also if they offer. Like this, these 6 karmas are known as Shat karmas. One who is involved in all these 6 karmas is called a Brahmin. And then Varta Vichitra Shalinaya Yaya Variya Silonchanam Vipravrittis Chaturdheyam Sreyasi Chottarottara. And for his livelihood, what he has to do? 4 ways of livelihood are suggested to him. And besides these 6 activities, Ijya, Adhyayanam, Dhanam, Yajanam, Adhyapanam, Adanam. These are the 6 duties mentioned for a Brahmin. Along with these 6 duties, the 4 ways of living are recommended for him. First one is Varta. Varta means involving in some trade. He can involve in some trade like Vaishyas. So that is one suggested for earning food. Then Vichitra, Shalina. The second one is going around the shops and going around the paddy fields and collecting the paddy which was available there on the ground after collected by the merchants from the direct fields. And if any remains of the paddy are seen, the grain particles should be collected and kept in a kumbha, that is a pot, and kumbhi dhanya, Brahmins were called. They should not possess more than 1 pot full grains in their house. Those particles of grains also should be collected from the grainy fields, that paddy fields, and he should not buy or he should not grow paddy for his own sake. That is one thing. Then Shaliniya Yayavariya, he can with an empty bowl go around the colonies and collect food from others. And then Munchanam, Munchavritti, that is also a kind of begging. All these were said to be the 4 ways of living for a Brahmin. And Sarva Vedamayo Vipraha. A Brahmin should always live as a man of knowledge only. Veda is knowledge and he is the human manifestation of entire knowledge. He should not live for any other self-benefit or he should not live for any selfish cause. Such person is said to be the Brahmin, and that Brahmin's duty is to advise a king. And after this, the qualities expected to be developed or inculcated in a Brahmin are Shamo, Damaha, Tapaha, Saucham, Santosha, Kshantirarjavam, Jnanam, Daya, Achyutatmatvam, Satyancha Brahma Lakshanam. These are the qualities expected in a Brahmin. First one is Shama, controlling his mind. Then Dama, controlling his senses. And he should not allow his every sense to run into the world, to accept everything that is seen, everything that is heard, everything that is allowed to be tasted, like that. He should not allow his sense organs to run into the world. that control of senses is known as Dhamma. And then Saucham, Suchitvam. This purity is said to be of 4 types of Suchitva. Manasika Suchitva means the purity of his mind. Then Vak Saucham, whatever he speaks, he should be pure. And Karma Saucham, all his deeds should be pure. And then Dravya Saucham, his earnings also should be pure. Impure earnings should not be allowed by any Brahmin. These 4 kinds of Saucha are recommended to a Brahmin. And then Santosha, contentment, it's the most important one. Whatever is possessed by him, with that he should have contentment. He should not be greedy. That's Santosha. Kshanti, forbearance. On one day, if he cannot get anything to eat, he should have patience to live with even hunger. That is Shanti. And then Arjavam, straightforwardness, is another quality. Under any circumstances, he should not follow the crooked ways. And after that, Jnanam, he should be a man of knowledge only. And then Daya, kindness towards others, to help them. Achyutatmatvam, he should see the God Achyuta or Vishnu in every being, not only in human beings, in all living and non-living beings, he should see Achyuta. And then Satyam, he should always speak truth, but not anything else. That also is another quality. And these are the qualities of a Brahmin, which are to be developed by him. And now we come to the qualities of Kshatriyas. So the earlier 6 were said to be the qualities of Brahmin, and now Rajno Vrittihi, Praja Goptuhu, Avipradva Karadibhihi. A king should protect the society, including the Brahmins, and then he should collect Kara, Kara means tax, from the people other than Brahmins. There is nothing to be offered by Brahmin to the kingdom except his knowledge, because he was advised to live only with a potful of grains. A person with potful of grains cannot offer anything in the form of tax to the government. That's why kings are advised to collect taxes from Aviprad, means the people who are other than Brahmins, particularly the merchants. When he collects taxes from the merchants, those taxes can be utilized for the prosperity of the kingdom and the country also. So in this manner, the Aviprakara is set. And then Rute Rajanyam Apatsu Sarvesham api Sarvasah Vrtamritabhyam Jiveta Mrutena Pramutena va. So if there is no person like a king in the kingdom, the society will be in unrest and it will be unprotected. That's why a Kshatriya is required. And there are 4 types: Ruta, Amrita, and then Mrita and Pramrita. These are the 4 stages about which we will be learning in course of time. These 4 types will be the affecting causes for the destruction of society if a person like a king is not there to rule it. So then Sarvadeva Mayon Nrupaha. Vipra is Sarva Vedamayaha, a man of knowledge, and a king is Sarva Devamaya. All the gods are the protectors of the universe, and he being a protector of the universe or the kingdom, he should be the representative of all gods. That's why Sarvadeva Mayon Nrupaha he is spoken of. Then the qualities required for a king are Sauryam, Viryam, Dhrutihi, Tejaha, Tyagaha, Atmajayah, Kshama, Brahmanyata, Prasadascha, Rakshacha, Kshatra Lakshanam. These are said to be the qualities of a king. Among these, first one is Shauryam. He should have valor, Parakrama. He should always run forward to protect the worlds. Even in the Ramayana and other classics, there is a sentence often said, Kshatriyaihi dharyate chapaha artha shabdo nabhavet iti. They hold the arrow and bow in order to protect the world, to see such a world where there is no arthanada, crying of the people seeking help, should not be there in the world. For that sake, they hold arrow and bow. It was the order of Kshatriyas. That's why Shaurya, the first quality, that is valor, and then Virya, inner strength, potency, should be there in the king, and then Dhriti, firmness. After Dhriti, Tejas, he should have a great brilliance in him, and Tyaga, he should be ready to sacrifice anything for the sake of the society, for the sake of the kingdom, for the sake of protecting the good. So, such a Tyaga should be there, such a sense of sacrifice should be there in every king. And after that, Atmajayaha, protecting one's own self. That is one thing. Atmajaya, conquering his own greed, conquering his own weaknesses, conquering all kinds of evil thoughts and other things in him. That is Atmajaya. And control of senses and control of mind also come under this. That should be there. Kshama, that is a feeling of excusing the mistakes of others also should be there. And at the same time, forbearance also should be there. These two aspects are considered as Kshama. And then Brahmanyata, his mind always should be concentrated on the cause of the universe from which this universe has emerged. That Brahmanyata is known as Tattvika Drishti. We have examples like the stories of Janaka and others, whose mind always was fixed on that Brahman, Parabrahma Tattva. And then Prasadaha, he should always be pleasant to be approached by his subjects. That is one. Raksha, efficiently he should protect the kingdom and also the people. So that is Raksha. These are the qualities of a Kshatriya. And now coming to Vaishyas. These Vaishyas are Vartavrittihi Nityam Brahmakulanugaha. These two main qualities of Vaishyas are Vartavrittihi. Vrittihi means behavior, and Vrittihi in the modern world is profession. By profession, they should follow the path of Varta. What is Varta? Varta means Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam. Krishi means agriculture, Goraksha protecting the cows, and Vanijyam doing different kinds of business for the sake of saving the society, for the sake of bringing up the prosperity of the society, for the sake of their own richness, to offer proper taxes to the kingdom for the growth. So this is Varta. And Nityam Brahmakulanugaha. You should always follow with great respect the races of Brahmins, because Brahmins are said to be the intellectuals to protect the society. A Vaishya should follow the path of Brahmins. He should always follow the advice of Brahmins. So when Brahmins advise him, he can grow well. Brahmins also should be so selfless by nature to help both Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and also Sudras. This was the order suggested in the Puranas. Then the following are the behavioral aspects expected from a Vaishya. They are Deva Gurvachyute Bhaktihi Trivarga Pariposhanam Astikyamudhyamo Nityam Naipunam Vaishya Lakshanam. These are said to be the qualities. First one is Deveshu Bhaktihi, Gurushu Bhaktihi, Achyute Bhaktihi. Devotion should be of three kinds. One is in all the gods. So, all the temples in ancient times were helped to be built by Vaishyas as a result of their devotion for gods. One thing. Second one is Gurus, the Brahmins and other Acharyas who impart knowledge to Vaishyas for living. Those are Gurus, and those Gurus should be respected by Vaishyas. Second one. And then Achyute Bhaktihi. All the Vaishyas should be the staunch devotees of Vishnu. And after that, Trivarga Pariposhanam. They should maintain the protection of the Trivargas, Dharma, Artha and Kama. These are known as Trivargas. Dharma is duty-mindedness or dutifulness. Every person has duties. In the society, a person has different types of duties to deliver as an individual, as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a husband, and as a ruler, as a citizen, and many other duties are there for every human being. All duties, everyone is able to manage well with efficiency obtained through these scriptures. That's why that duty-mindedness is known as dharma, and that dharma should be protected by the Vaisyas. And after that, Vaisyas are expected to protect even Artha. The wealth of society can be good enough if Vaisyas offer their services in a proper manner for the protection of the wealth. And that society will be a rich society when Vaisyas protect the richness or the Artha. And after that, desires. Desires of the people should be controlled by the merchants by supplying all the things to the society according to the demand of the society. Supply-demand relation, very interestingly, was mentioned even in the Puranas in this context, which we can understand well. And in this manner, Trivarga Pariposhanam, the Trivargas should be maintained properly. This is one thing. And then Astikya Buddhi, respect for the Vedas is known as Astikya Buddhi, theistic mentality, theistic tendency. If Vedas are protected, knowledge is protected. If knowledge is protected, Brahmins who are the people of knowledge are protected. If Brahmins are protected, then the universe is protected. That's why Astikya Buddhi is required or affected or expected from a Vaishya. And then Udyamaha, constant efforts to grow and constant efforts for the growth of the society. This should be there. These two should be there in every Vaishya. And after this, Nityam Naipunam, efficiency also should be there in his profession. And these are Vaishya's characteristics. And the fourth one, Shudras. Shudras is working class for the strength of the society. If Shudra class is not properly working, entire society will fall down. That's why Shudras are said to be Sannatihi. Actually, these are the qualities expected even in the class 4 or class 3 employees of every organization to have these qualities. Of course, these qualities are expected to be there in every efficient person who supports an organization, who offers services to the organization, particularly Shudras, Sannatihi, always bow down before the hires. What is meant by bowing down before the hires? That is nothing but respecting the higher people. just like in an organization, the lower cadre employees should respect the higher cadre employees like manager and others. If the executives and managers are properly respected, the activity will grow properly. If any self-interests involved, the activities will have accordingly some ill growth. That's why these Shudras are expected to have sannati towards their superiors, and then Saucham, purity should be there. This purity should be in thought, deed and action, and also in speech also. And besides these three types of purity, Dravya Saucha also is expected from the Sudras. And then Swamini Amayaya Vyavaharaha, Seva. Service is the main activity of every Sudra. While serving his Swami, that is owner, he should be Amayaya, he should behave without any cheating attitude. And that is one. Amantra yajnaha. So that is, without mantra, he should perform yajna also. Amantra yajnas are recommended to Sudras, and according to such things he has to perform yajnas. And asteyam, stealing nature should not be there. And then satyam, he should be a satyavadi, he should always speak truth. And then go viprarakshanam, they should protect the cows and they should protect the intellectuals of the society also. These are the qualities of Sudras. And coming to the, some definitions are given. Rutamritabhyam jiveta mritena pramatena va satyanritabhyam jiveta nashvavritya kathanchana rutam vuchchasilam. So here we have certain definitions given in the Puranas, which are to be followed by all the four castes. They are Varta, Vichitra, Shalina, Yayavariya, Silonchanam, Vipravrittis, Chaturdheyam, Sreyasi, Chottarottara. It was explained in our earlier context about Vipras. These are the four types of ways for the living of Brahmin. And Jaganyo Nottamam Vrityam Anapadi Bhajennaraha Vrite Rajanyam Apatsu Sarveshamapi Sarvasyaha. A Vaisya should always follow his prescribed duties, and he should not try to follow the duties of his heirs. They are the intellectuals and the protectors of the society. If a Vaisya takes the power of protecting the society, his abilities of doing business will gradually decrease, and his services cannot properly be offered to the society. That's why we should behave like that. There are four ways said: Rutam, Amritam, Mritam, Pramritam. What is Rutam? Rutam is the best way of living without any expectations from others. Amritam, which is collected and procured, that is Amritam, with some expectation. And then Mritam, if he begs from others, that is almost nothing but dead. Mritam is the state of death to any person. That is, this Mrita state is nothing else than earning through begging. This is also shunned in ancient times. Then Pramritam, that is, if a higher person starts plowing and producing things or food for his own sake, that is too dangerous than death for them. That's why in this manner, Ruta, Amrita, Mrita and Pramrita, these are the four ways of living recommended to the beings, and according to their interest of living, they should choose any one of these from higher to lower order. Now, we are going to deal with the characteristics of mixed races. As we were explaining in the earlier context, there are two types of mixed caste, Pratilomajas and Anulomajas. And all these mixed caste people, Vrittihi Sankarajatinam Tatkula Krita Bhavet Tatkula Krita Vrittihi Grahya. And different subcastes could be developed to deliver certain duties for the sake of the society and to deliver certain things and to produce certain things for the sake of the society. The people of this subcaste are expected to produce those things. And that is why they should always concentrate on producing those things. The work division and also family division is made in the caste system in the ancient times, particularly in the days of Puranas, not to separate the society into different castes and keep away one person from the other person, but to expect an efficiency in the activities which are required for strengthening the society. If a person makes pots and his son also is expected to make pots, his son and therefrom his son, like that, traditionally or in a hereditary manner, if the people make pots, their efficiency will grow and it can be protected. Similarly, in every profession, there should be traditional hereditary. When traditional hereditary is protected, the efficiency in work can be protected. That is why usually Puranas recommended, for the sake of efficiency in work, through dividing the work in the society on caste basis through family tradition. This was the order of those days. And now we have 30 common qualities expected from the people of all the four castes and even from the subcastes. These 30 qualities will help for a morally strong society. These qualities are Satyam, Daya, Tapaha, Shaucham, Titiksheksha, Shamodamaha, Ahimsa, Brahmacharyancha, Tyagaha, Swadhyayaha, Arjavam, Santoshaha, Samadruk, Seva, Gramye, Iha, Uparamashanaihi, Nunam Viparyayeha cha, Maunam Atmavimarshanam, Annad Adehi, Samvibhagaha, Bhutebhyaschaitharahataha, Teshu Atma Devata Buddhihi, Sutaram Rishupandava, Shravanam Kirtanam Chasya, Smaranam Mahatangatehi, Seva, Ijya, Avanatihi Dashyam, Sakhyam, Atma Samarpanam, Nunamayam Parodharmaha, Sarvesham Samudahrutaha, Trimsal Lakshanavan Rajan, Sarvatma Yenatushyati. These are the 30 characteristics expected, 30 aspects of behavior expected from persons of every caste. And here Satyam is speaking truth. Irrespective of all castes, everyone should speak truth only, but not untruth. And then Daya. Daya is kindness towards all beings. Tapaha, doing penance. And then Saucham, purity of all kinds, as it was said in the earlier context. Then Titiksha, forbearance. Iksha, seeing the future. For the sake of future, we should sow the seeds at present. That is Iksha. And then Shamaha, controlling the mind. Damaha, controlling the senses. And then Ahimsa, that is non-violence. Ahimsa, not only bodily ahimsa, but also ahimsa of all kinds. Through our behavior, we should not trouble others. Through our speech, we should not affect others. We should not suffer others through any means. that is called ahimsa. Then brahmacharyam, in whichever state of life and in whichever stage of life a person is, he should always have the concept of protecting his character. The effort of a person to protect his character is none else than brahmacharya. And then tyaga, sacrificing, and then tyaga, sacrificing nature, and then swadhyaya, self-study, studying the Vedas, studying the Puranas, studying the Itihasas, studying the books and treatises which can impart us knowledge required for a better living in the society. And then arjavam, straightforwardness, santosha, contentment, samadruk, and treating all the people equally, that should be there. Very striking aspect to be underlined. And this is samadruk is required, and seva, service of all kinds. Intellectuals also should serve, the protectors, kshatriyas also should serve the society, Vaisyas should serve the society, even Sudras serve the society. That service is a common characteristic of all the people. And then Gramya Iha Uparamaha Shanehi. And Uparamaha, withdrawing his desires from the worldly objects for the sake of allowing others to live. And Gramyatva should be there. Gramyatva is that the way of innocence, that also should be there. And then Nunam Viparyaya Iha Iksha. And human beings should have the qualities to be imbibed in the other way. If a person wants to live rich, he should help others to live rich. That is Iha and Viparyaya. And Maunam, maximum one should try to improve silence. Then Atma Vimarshanam, introspection is one of the best qualities to be developed by every person. Have I done good things or bad things, and what are the bad things I have done and how to correct them? All these should be there in every man's mind. That is Atma Vimarsha. Then Annadadehi Samvibhagaha. When a person earns something, he should distribute his earnings to all the people before he wants to eat. He should not eat directly. That is Samvibhagatva. And Bhutebhyascha Yatharahataha. And he should offer something to other creatures also, other than human beings. Also should be offered some of his earnings for their livelihood. Then natural balance can be protected. Then Shravanam Kirtanam cha asya Desha Atmadevata Buddhihi Sutaram Nrishu Pandava. And all the creatures should be considered as the aspects of divine beings, aspects of gods. Godliness should be seen in all the creatures. That also should be there. And Shravanam Kirtanam chasya Smaranam Mahatangatehi Seva Ijya Avanatihi Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Samarpanam. These 9 kinds of devotion also should be shown towards the gods and also towards the creatures, finding the godliness in all creatures. And then Nunamayam Parodharma Sarvesham Samudahrataha. All these are said to be the great qualities developed by all the people of all castes. In this manner, the caste system of Pauranic is very scientific, and it was not to separate the society into different castes, but to improve the work efficiency in all the people. In those days, the castes were divided. The society was divided into different castes like intellectuals, the protectors, the business people, and also service people. In this manner, the entire society was divided, and particularly this duty efficiency was expected through the people in an hereditary manner. That is one of the striking aspects. That is why a person who belongs to a particular family should follow his traditional order, his family order, and he should not try to go to the other duties and other efficiencies. In such a way, the caste aspects of his family should be protected by every human being of Puranic order. This is how the caste system of Puranas was mentioned in the Puranic literature.